You might remember this from a few videos back.
My lab Monty Core. Recovery speed looks crazy.
But when you make friends with engineers who know how to build metal detectors, they want to top something like that.
I have several modern coins on a straight line. All of the coins are slightly smaller than this Bulgarian coin, which is the same size as American quarter silver dollar.
You might remember my video on Nexus Metal Detectors. It was titled Crater Maker. It's gotten 60,000 views, which is a pretty big deal for my channel. Yeah, YouTube hates me. But we will overcome.
So it's for reference to see all of those coins being smaller than that. And I also have this iron wire.
Georgi's about to break the metal detecting internet.
Which is longer than the line of coins. So first I'm going to demonstrate the responsive detector Nexus MPV3 with a silver scout coil to the coins, then to the wire, then to the wire on top of the coins.
Long ferrous object on top of many non-ferrous objects. Georgi, please break the internet. You may wonder why his thumb is up in the corner there. It's because he wants you to give a thumbs up, people. Come on. So this is the same company, same detector. This is actually an excerpt from the video that got 60,000 views.
Nothing in the dirt. Well, it's there. So I'm very close to whatever is in the hole. It appears to be a coin, a large one. Well, 30 to 3 millimeters. And the coin was uncovered on, let's see what depth, 47 centimeters.
For anybody watching in the States, 47 centimeters equals about 18 and a half inches. So let's rewire our brains a little bit. What if I told you that that detector is a analog metal detector? And what if I told you that it operates at a single frequency at a time? I've gotten to know the man behind these detectors, and what I see in him is an artist. Over many years of being a teacher, this is a quote that I have had hung in my room for decades. An artist's only concern is to shoot for some kind of perfection, and on his own terms, not anyone else's. I very much see a person who wants to be the very best in Georgi, and I've learned a lot in our conversations, and he doesn't hold back. He does not mince words. For example, I was asking a question via email. The big buzz phrase, it seems, is simultaneous multi-frequency. For bigger companies like Minelab, XP, Garrett, and Nocta Macro, what made Nexus decide to stay away from SMF? Georgi's response was, "You just answered your own question. It's a buzz, nothing more. We prefer to stick to real things, not to marketing Big Bang. Multi-frequency cannot and it does not contribute to real performance improvements, neither depth or discrimination at depth. It could contribute only to better target ID for the first 8 inches of the detecting depth range, but so far, even this has proven to be unreliable. The only real outcome from multi-frequency is actually limiting the performance of detectors for the sake of making a better difference between a pull tab and a dime, but only at shallow depths. If you transmit more than one frequency over a period of time, this will result in proportionately lower power output at each of those frequencies, resulting in overall lower power output. Less power equals less detection, more electronic noise, and higher susceptibility to external interference. This can never amount to a better detector. The SMF buzz is like manufacturing a car that at the same time is best on the racing track, offers the best limousine comfort, is the best off-roader, and it can possibly fly. I'm not sure what's possible in this regard, but it seems to me that the best cars are specialized cars, and it is much the same with metal detectors. If you try to produce a metal detector that can do seemingly everything, you will inevitably end up with a toy. I believe that the best detector is the one that can discriminate accurately to its full depth capabilities in the ground, providing, in the first place, the depth is considerably better than average. This is our aim. Best regards, Georgi. At some point in 2023, I plan on purchasing a Nexus detector. It blows my mind how these are manufactured. It's a pretty popular company, but Georgi makes all of these by hand by himself. And that's by design. I get the impression from talking to him and talking to him frequently that he wants no other process. There's a wait list with Nexus detectors because they're handmade, and if you order one today, it's a few months wait to get that. So if I order in 2023, it might be 2024 that I get it by. But at some point, yes, I'm going to be purchasing one. Now for the part that is going to blow your mind apart to bits. And now I'm going to take a bit of a chance in this video because it is beyond my technical capacity, at least right now, to fully answer this. So I'm going to throw this out to the very smart people in my audience. In other words, I need your help to peer review this video. Links to the full version of this video are in the video description. The device that you see right there is called an oscilloscope. As I understand it, it's a device that can measure anything from voltage to what frequencies are emitted from a device. Merrill was going to buy an oscilloscope, but then Merrill would have the problem of, how does Merrill use an oscilloscope? You see, I wanted to recreate the experiment that's going on here. The oscilloscope is actually connected to... Ooh! The Deus 2!
Осцилоскопа по този начин може да виждаме какво излъчва не само сондата на Deus 2, но всякакъв вид сонди. Сега, искам да обърнем обаче внимание.
And the other problem is this video is in Bulgarian.
Някои влогари...
Considering I've been trying to learn Spanish for like 30 years, starting Bulgarian, it's not going to happen.
Това е трета програма. Това виждате, че те тук не се променят много. Ето, промени се на парк.
Променя се периода на повторение на целия пакет. Да. Малко става по-дълъг или по-нискочестотен.
Ето сега на тая Deep ще се върнем на шеста програма. След малко ще говориме. Имаме мъртво време. Излъчва по 2 сигнала.
What these guys are doing is peering into the soul of the XP Deus 2. It's electronic fingerprint.
Мъртво време.
2 положителни, 2 отрицателни.
Значи ето ви е едната програма, която тя тук е мултичестотна на програмата Deep. Обръщам внимание. Тук може да очаквате по-добри резултати.
Да, програмата Deep не бих казал, че е толкова мултичестотна, колкото за по-голяма ефективност на генериране на магнитното поле се използват по-кратки импулси с мъртво време.
So, again, I can't quite decipher this, and I think I'd have the problem of connecting an oscilloscope with a detector. It's just not my area of expertise right there. Now, yes, I have asked around, but you can. If you know how to do that, that would be a great test, and perhaps we could work together to get these answers. But let me elaborate a little bit on my conversation that I had with Georgi. Georgi said that the majority of programs that the Deus are running, the most that he could see on the screen, and although it's a very tough to see screen, was 2. There might have been 1 or 2 programs that ran 3. But that kind of blew my mind because multi-frequency has been around longer than you think. If you've watched my videos for a while, you know I've used the White's Beach Hunter 300 metal detector. But what I recently discovered is that it is a dual frequency machine. Now watch the screen as he toggles through the programs. Now I cannot fully decipher this, but sometimes you see 3 bands, sometimes you see 2. And the other thing is, wait until you see his book. We're going to freeze it in a moment. And as soon as he moves his hand, freeze. So this manual, we're taking a still shot right here so we could take a very close look. As I understand it, and again, I'm going by what I understood from the conversation I had with Georgi and a video in Bulgarian, which I did not, understand the words, plus the tech. But basically, there are alternating pulses that happen. And they're very, very fast. These are the alternating pulses. And they cycle in the various frequencies. I needed a quote from Georgi that summarizes all of this. And I got it. And I quote, "From the video posted on YouTube appears XP has overstated the fast multi-frequency claim, which in reality is fast dual frequency." Georgi. Now, why is this important? You might have forgotten that I'm a painter, and what drives painters or artists crazy, we chop off ears, is when people go to museums and they look at what's on the card instead of the work of art itself. And then there's the truth, but there's also good marketing.
Not all things are created equal. You know that. New technology, new experiences, new frontiers. And now you get to master them all. Metal detectors used to work on a single frequency, so you could typically find only a limited range of metals at one time. Small coins, fine jewelry, gold. If you imagine a flashlight that lit up only one color, that's what you'd have. Then, we got better, and switchable multi-frequency detectors came about. You could find different types of treasure, but you needed to know in advance what you were looking for. So we'd have to manually switch our flashlight to different colors before we could find our treasure. Good if you were psychic, but not so handy for the rest of us. But now, we have Minelab's revolutionary multi-IQ technology. Simultaneous multi-frequency detectors that can find any metal in any soil, any time. Our imaginary multi-IQ flashlight now lets us see the entire range of color. Every type of metal at one time. That's Minelab's multi-IQ technology. No more digging around in the dark. You've just shone a light on the future. Affordable, effective, ingenious. Multi-IQ. All metals, all soils, all the time.
Wow. If the Deus 2 is a dual frequency, runs no more than 2 frequencies at a time, if that can be verified, peer-reviewed, and I'll preface that by saying the Deus 1, it ran a whole bunch of different frequencies. It just did it one at a time, and you'd have to switch it. So chances are these dual frequencies move up and down all the time. That's where the pulses come in. That's where the algorithm comes in. Does the marketing bias us? Does marketing like you just saw destroy credibility for companies like Nexus, despite having incredible tests like what we just saw? And then to confuse you and myself even further, if you look at my website, iratemetaldetectors.com, the top 3 positions that I have, they are simultaneous multi-frequency metal detectors. Legend, Deus 2, Equinox, they are spectacular detectors, highly capable detectors. There's beauty and greatness in the simultaneous multi-frequency detectors that are at the top of my list at iratemetaldetectors.com. But there's also a danger to them. Whenever you create something like an Equinox that is so effective, that really actually did live up to what was said in that marketing video, in that I found stuff that parks that I hit really, really hard with other detectors, it was like I'd never been there before. That's the sign of a great detector right there. And the danger is that it gets copied, and that becomes the main blueprint. And that's why we need companies like Nexus and people like Georgi, who do things a wildly different way. Handmade detectors, tested like you wouldn't believe, wildly different. And I'm sorry, you can't argue with the test results there. They look spectacular. I can't wait to get my hands on one. Goes to show that there's more to learn. And you know what? When you love a topic, this stuff fascinates you. That's where I'm at. So this is just passion right here for the hobby and curiosity. It's my vice. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I just swing over dirt and sand. So you know what? I'm gonna keep reinvesting what you guys give me with channel revenue, and I thank you for that, because it quenches a thirst. So anyway, that's it for this video, and many more coming. I hope somebody takes me up on testing that. I would love to collaborate with you. Thanks, everybody.